Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. This week I want to do a little bit of a writing experiment. So I'm a very slow writer, usually average anywhere from 300 to 500 words in an hour, but I'd like to really challenge myself to do some speed writing this week. So I'm going to try speed writing 500 words in 3 different contexts. First, my usual, at home, alone, in silence, at my laptop. The second, the same, except I'm going to be listening to music. And then the third, at a cafe, which I have been slowly but surely coming to incorporate into my usual writing routine. So without further ado, let's just dive into this first sprint and see how fast I can possibly write these 500 words. Actually, before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to tell you about the project that I'll be working on through these 3 sprints. It's my main project. We will call it Theo, though that is the name of the main character, not the title. Theo is a YA queer fantasy. It's got a competition and a murder mystery and some political conspiracy going on. I just hit 25k in it yesterday, so I'm very excited to keep rolling with that momentum. And yes, if I hit these 500 words in an hour or less, I will be quite pleased. So let's go see if I can pull that off.
I can be stubborn, thinking I'm right. I can be late, cause I'm taking my time. I can be driven, ambitious, your best friend, love of your life. I can be selfish, trying to be kinder, always forgetting, needing reminders. But I'll always be there when you need me.
Alright, so as you might have seen in that last clip, I somehow just got over 500 words in 35 minutes. I don't remember the last time that I did that, if ever. To be fair, I'm writing a scene that I'm really having a lot of fun with, a lot of good dialogue. It is the break into 2, so the characters are kind of finally ending their debates and deciding that they are going to take action to investigate a murder. That's very exciting for me to write, which is probably a big reason of why it went so quickly. But I am now very nervous that I will not be able to match this again, probably ever in my life, let alone in these next 2 sprints. Luckily, I have decided that I'm going to do these each morning for 3 different mornings to keep things a little bit more controlled. This is not going to be a perfect scientific experiment, but I'm going to try to do like a little, just like a dash of science we'll add into this. So I get to wait until tomorrow to do the next one to music. Probably, I currently have Taylor's version of 1989 borrowed from the library, so I'll probably be listening to that. Very on brand for me. And just seeing if maybe I can do as well as I did today. I'm very shocked. Nobody's more shocked than I am. But yeah, that was really fun. I was really challenging myself to write as quickly as I can. I don't think it's a lot dirtier than my typical drafting is. Not that there's anything wrong with a dirty draft, it just isn't typically part of my process. So yeah, I was very surprised. And we'll see how the rest of this goes. I will report back tomorrow morning. Good morning. It is the next day, and I'm about to dive into my second sprint with music. I will be continuing the scene that I was working on yesterday, that break into 2 that was really flowing very well for me. I'm anticipating that I will finish it in the next 500 words, so I'm going to move on to the next scene that I've really thoroughly outlined. I don't always write linearly, both within the story itself, I'll skip from scene to scene, but also within a scene. Sometimes I'll write the ending and then the middle and then the beginning, just do it in whatever order works. So that's very on brand for me as well. But yeah, I wanted to keep it as fair as possible for all of these sprints, so I want to write the scenes that I have the most thoroughly outlined, because I think if I wrote the next scene coming chronologically, I would have to spend 15 minutes kind of getting to know the scene before I actually started drafting it, and that would skew the results, skew the data. Again, we're going for a dash of science here, so I don't want to do that. That being said, I'm very excited for these 2, finishing up that break into 2, and then kind of I guess the fallout, one of their friends is going to be like, you decided to investigate a murder without me. What the hell were you thinking? As she should, really. She should be questioning this. So yeah, that's going to be really fun. I'm feeling much less confident than I was yesterday now that I have to follow up that 35 minutes, but we'll make it work. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. I've got 1989 pulled up and ready to go. So good vibes only, I guess. Come through for me, Taylor.
'Cause I know that two things can't be true. 'Cause I get so confident yet confused. So I'll let go to live in between who I am and who I wanna be.
Okay, so now this is just turning into a whole identity crisis because, like, who actually am I? I call myself a slow writer. I feel like I've always been a slow writer, but it turns out if I, like, try to write quickly, am I just a lazy writer? Have I just not been trying? I felt like I'd been trying early, but now I'm really trying, and now the words they're fast? I'm so confused. Okay, with, of course, Taylor Swift's very generous help, I have been able to write 550 words in 31 minutes. I didn't even catch it at the 500 word mark because I was like, there's no way that I've written 500 words, but I did. I'm questioning everything. I'm confused, but also that it's great. Now I feel like I've become one of those people who says that I'm bad at writing fast, but is in real time proving myself wrong live on air. And this isn't live or on air, but what? Okay, anyway, that's I mean, it's good. It went well. The words were good. They were, again, just a smidge less clean than my typical drafting, but not as much as I would have expected. I definitely want to read back through it and make sure that everything makes sense and that I haven't fallen into any grammatical errors or overuse of pronouns and not actually saying who's talking, just being he, and you're there are two men in this conversation, which one? Gay fanfiction problem, But that overall seemed okay. I'm processing, but it seemed okay. I think. Am I a fast writer? I don't know. No, okay, I'm not a fast writer. I know there are some people who write 1,000 words in a 15-minute sprint. I'm never going to be one of those people. As much as I would love to be, as awe-inspiring as they are, I don't think I'll ever be that speedy. But I'm faster than I thought I was, which is honestly a great thing to learn from this, that if I really hone in and try to write words quickly, I can do that. It will mean probably doing more one reread before I continue on to the next scene, just to remind myself of what I did and make sure that it all made sense and that I was really adhering to my outline as opposed to going a little off script. But this is a great realization to have, as silly as it's making me feel, for having said that I'm a slow writer. I'm actually really glad to have arrived at this point, and fingers crossed that I can maintain this level of speed tomorrow at a cafe. That would be really nice. So I guess that's it for today. I'm just going to go continue spiraling in this identity crisis, but I won't make you witness that. Yeah, this is, again, fruitful experiment, I guess. Try to write fast and maybe you will? ? Hello, it is the next day and I have just pulled up to a cafe to do the final writing sprint. I'm actually at a Panera because they have free parking, and we do love free parking. But I have been thinking over the past 24 hours about two things that might be impacting my word counts. One of them is that when I'm usually thinking about my word count for any given writing session, I am thinking about the total number of drafting words that I've added, so 550 yesterday, minus the number of words in that section of the outline. So yesterday that was about 70. for a net of 480 words added rather than 550 words added to the draft. So that does have a little bit of an impact. It doesn't account for the entirety of what I'm feeling is the speed I have gained just from filming, because usually I'd be thrilled with 480 words in 30 minutes. That's fantastic for me. So the other part of it, I'm thinking, might just be the fact that I am filming myself, and specifically that I'm doing like a speed lapse of my actual writing session. I'm not able to be like, okay, I'm just gonna get up and like get a drink of water, or like I'm gonna get up and like get a snack, or I'm gonna fiddle around, like stop listening to the music that I'm listening to and go to a different album or listen to some author tube or something like that. I'm really having to hone in and focus on the writing that I'm doing because you're watching me. So some of it might be that sort of like observer effect, I guess. But we'll see if that continues. Or maybe these two have just been beginner's luck. In this third sprint, we'll see if I can match the sort of half hour, 500 words at Panera. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to bring you with me. Probably not film super extensively inside because I'm already a little bit worried about filming in this parking lot, but there are people and they are looking at me, but that's fine. Everything's fine. Anyway, I'm excited for this last sprint. Let's finish out strong.
Maybe I'm incomplete, and a messed up masterpiece. Know everything and nothing, a childish 20-something, with my pros and my cons, my mistakes and my flaws. Don't have it figured out yet. I'm a work of art and a work in progress.
Frankly audacious for Panera to be that busy on a weekday morning, because I was planning on finding like a quiet little corner where no one could watch me film myself writing, and instead I was in the middle of many people who probably none of them cared one iota or were watching me write, but I felt like they were because anxiety. I did write fast though. I also caught myself almost exactly at the 500 word mark, which that's a first. However, I will say I think I was writing very quickly this time, partially out of a desperation to stop being observed. I needed to get out of that Panera. It was very busy and I felt very awkward. I only had my phone like propped up against the side of my bowl, filming myself way too close. You got like way closer a shot of my hands than you ever wanted. But I did time lapse myself, meaning that I couldn't stop. I couldn't get distracted, which at the end of the day was very effective. I wrote, I think it was 507 words in 30 minutes. So I will take it. I will take it. This experiment has definitely taught me that having myself time lapsed does make me write faster. So with that, we will move into, I guess, the analysis portion of this video. I want to go through the statistics and see what conclusions we can reach. So in the first sprint, the silent sprint, I wrote 513 words in about 35 minutes. This comes out to, don't mind me, I'm looking at my computer because I can't remember anything, let alone numbers. But 513 words in 35 minutes comes out to about 14.7 words per minute, or 882 words per hour, which, as someone who opened this video by saying that I usually write 300 to 500 words per hour, yikes. I should really do this, but in a time format, like how many words can I write in an hour, to see if when I'm sprinting, maybe I'm more motivated by word count than I am time, because usually I sprint for time. Usually I'm sprinting and I'm like, I'm going to write for 45 minutes or I'm going to write for 60 minutes, as opposed to I'm going to write for 500 words. That would be another interest coming up soon. We'll do that. But moving on, the second sprint, the music sprint, was 550 words in 31 minutes. That comes out to 17.7 words per minute, or 1,062 words in an hour. Finally, the café sprint was 507 words in 30 minutes. That comes out to 16.9 words per minute, or 1,014 words per hour. So technically, I did best at the sprint with music and worst at the silent sprint, which is weird because I usually write in silence. However, I only did it once. It would have to be repeated multiple times in order to be generalized. But still interesting that even once it came out that I was better at writing along to music than I was in silence. But overall, I'm just really pleased with how quickly I wrote this week. I now know that if I really focus and push myself to go quickly, I can write a lot faster than I thought. I never thought that I was being really easily distractible when I was writing, not doing a time lapse, but I must have been because this was so effective. So thank you. Thank you for watching this because you gave me a great excuse to write faster. A writing tool I never knew I needed. But with that, we're wrapping up this writing experiment. Please let me know if you enjoy this style of video. I hope you do, because I would really like to do another one. I think testing whether I'm more motivated by word count or time would be kind of fun. So anyway, maybe that will be coming up on the horizon. But for now, I hope you have an excellent rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video.